If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. You think life is going back to normal anytime soon? Wait till you get a load of some of the things that are being done around our country here in America. Coming to you this Memorial Day. Get ready for it. Apparently, people are going to be walking around the beaches on Memorial Day on the boardwalks like this.
Restaurant in Ocean City, Maryland is thinking outside the box when it comes to social distancing to keep customers 6 feet apart. Take a look. The restaurant and bar Fishtails is going to use bumper tables once it begins seating dine-in customers again. The bumper tables are basically inner tubes on wheels and guarantee that you won't get within 6 feet of anybody. Reese, as I said earlier, what could go wrong? You've got alcohol flowing and adults in big, ginormous inner tubes.
This actually did make me think of alcohol, because this could be useful to help keep some of these drunks upright.
They have cup holders too. Did you see that guy?
Look at that. Look at that. People that are well beyond being served can now stay upright and continue to finish that beverage. As you said, what could go wrong? You
know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of those baby walkers. You know, when my kid was little, to help her learn how to walk, it looks like an adult version of a baby walker.
And I'm sure some people will come walking out of there, waddling out of there exactly like babies as well.
I mean, I think I've had all I can take of this, really, the stupidity. When are people just going to go, what the F is this? Right? Oh, this is a safe and wonderful idea. People walking around in tubes, you know, kids who were 3 feet tall getting clotheslined by these things. And then you get some idiot going, well, we could stop drunkards from walking around. Last time I checked, you give a drunk person 6 extra feet on each side, or however wide this whole tube is, 6 feet in circumference maybe. That's probably even worse, because they'll be bumping into you, who knows what. I'll tell you one thing, I see somebody walking around with one of these things, and luckily for me, I'm not by a boardwalk, nor am I going to one, nor do I participate in Memorial Day. But this thing's getting popped if I see it. Unbelievable that people are accepting it. And this isn't the only thing. Our world is not going back to the way it normally was. Check out how restaurants are opening and what they're going to be doing at restaurants. You got to be kidding me.
Tonight, from Texas to Thailand, restaurants racing to figure out how your next socially distant dinner out could look. The pandemic rewriting the rules for all restaurants. A world where robots disinfect dining rooms with UV lights. In South Carolina, one owner doing the same thing with blow-up dolls.
I might even kiss one of those dolls before the night's over.
And new ideas in the Netherlands. Correspondent Tessa Arcilla is there.
What does dining out in a post-lockdown world look like? Well, it could look like this. Table for two in a little glass house. This restaurant in Amsterdam called Mediamatic is putting social distancing at the heart of its operations.
Fast food chains doing their part too. McDonald's closing down self-serve drink stations, delivering food in double-folded bags, and considering foot pulls on all bathroom doors. But the rush to reopen already raising questions. Customers eager to get back out as restaurants try to recoup losses.
8 million people lost their jobs in the restaurant business. And a lot of operators are saying that they're not even going to be able to hire a lot of those people back.
A growing fight to adapt in a strange new normal. Morgan Chesky, NBC News.
Yeah, it's just what we all want. I'd love to go out for a nice romantic dinner and sit inside a glass little house. I wonder if there's been conditioning about this. Tiny homes and those things, right? All those TV shows, tiny homes, tiny homes. I'm always like, who would want to live in a tiny home? Won't you feel suffocated inside of it? You're on top of the other person, or even by yourself? Well, they're just continuing to squeeze us in, right? Squeezing us into these tight cities, making everyone, ooh, you should live in New York. Why would you want to live in Montana? There's nothing to do there. Meanwhile, tons of land out there, and they tell us that we're overpopulated. But again, another story for another day. These are all things we all already know. And in addition, what were some of the key things that were in the video there about the restaurants? People will not be going back to work at these restaurants. Robots are coming in. Now, I've covered this for years. People call me insane. People have called other people insane. Robots, robots, robots. How restaurants are now going to kiosks and robots, right? More and more people losing jobs. Well, this was the perfect way to wipe all those people out without having to say, we're firing you to replace you with a robot. Because then humans would start to get mad, right? Humans would go, screw that. I'll stick up for this other human because it's a human and it freaking needs a job. It's got to pay its bills. But now they can go, well, the robot, see, it can't spread the C19. The robot can be clean and healthy and safe, and then we can social distance. So people go, oh, all right. So there's another excuse for restaurants to open up, to use kiosks, to use literally robotic servers, or at least cut down the amount of waiters and waitresses they have, because all they'll really be doing is delivering your order like you're outside at a drive-in movie or something like that. That's what they're doing here, right? I've talked about UPS. They're preparing to use drones full-time instead of UPS truck drivers. A drone literally flying to your front door to deliver a package. Sounds ridiculous, right? UPS even showed it in their own commercials, the future of UPS, right? And as humans, what is the Ronald Reagan speech where he says, oh, it would take an alien force, right? Which was more Project Bluebeam nonsense, but he said it would take an alien force, an outside invasion for Americans to unite together, and to start this new world order, right? Which is something that they want and have had planned with this whole alien BS crap, which isn't real, right? And we've seen the predictive programming. Well, how about humans rally together against this technology? How about we all go, you know what, screw this stuff. We got people walking around in tubes over this social distancing nonsense. We know they want us distant from each other. They don't want people to unite and be one, not unite, but they don't want people to interact. They want people to be more dependent on technology. This is all part of the mark of the beast and transhumanism. This is all part of preventing any type of uprising that could possibly occur because people will be distant from each other. We grow up in a world where a guy doesn't even know how to hit on a girl. That's really what it's even come down to now. Right? Guys just don't even know how to pick up a girl because they're afraid to even hit on a girl because they see all this feminist stuff. Oh, it's sexual harassment. You can't call the girl beautiful. Right? And they're so always on their technology device, and that's the only way they know how to interact with each other. And then in person, they pee their pants. Right? Because they're making people distant. Now we have it with all this stuff, and they're using the C19 as another way to take jobs away from human beings. And you would think that humans would go, you know what, screw this. I see what they're doing here. We're going to go back to work at restaurants. They're going to open up, and you're not going to bring back your employees. And they're going to go, we can't afford it. We can't afford to do it. Meanwhile, waitresses and waiters make like $3 an hour, and their whole livelihood is based off of tips, okay? But the owners will be like, oh, we can't afford it. So what we have to do is, we're going to put up this huge piece of plastic between everyone at the table on all sides so you can just eat in a little cubicle of plastic. I mean, that sounds like fun. I wonder what happens if you fart inside the thing. How bad is that going to smell? But anyway, I mean, just nightmare. Nightmare on Elm Street. This is Nightmare on Elm Street 10 right here. That's what this is. Or 7, whatever one they're on. And personally, I'm getting to the point where I'm more than pissed off about it. Because I'm pissed off seeing that human beings are accepting of it. I mean, you really going to tell me you see somebody walking around in one of these social distance tubes? But, this is a good thing. You're going to applaud them for it? Yeah, try going, the only boardwalk I remember going to growing up is the Jersey Shore boardwalk. Try walking around there in New Jersey wearing one of these things, or Staten Island. You think that people are going to be thrilled about it? You're probably going to get thrown off the boardwalk. And your flotation device isn't going to work, right? Because it's going to get stomped on. But how are we letting people do this? How are we letting people accept this? Yeah, no big deal. I'm wearing a flotation device on the boardwalk because I don't want you to get near me. Huh? What? I mean, are we going to see people on Memorial Day weekend in the water with the face masks on? Because then I'm really going to lose my mind. I really am. You start thinking, okay, maybe the pushback is coming because you're not going to be able to keep people locked up all summer. People are going to get they already have cabin fever. And on an 80-degree, 90-degree day, nobody wants to sit in their house. They're going to want to go to a lake, a beach, whatever's close by, a pool, a community pool, right? And what are they going to do with these community pools? Social distance marks in the water? Are you kidding me? First, they told us that it was okay to be outside. Then they told us that we needed to, remember the one video I did where they literally said you need to tape your doors and your windows so no air gets in and keep your air condition off. I mean, we're just trying to suffocate people. Then they go, oh, you can be outside, but you need to social distance outside. Oh, and we're going to reopen the parks, but there's going to be a policeman at every quarter mile to make sure that you're social distancing. Otherwise, you're going to get tasered and arrested. And we allow this to happen as people. Right. And those people who don't think that cops are Freemasons, because the cops seem to be fine with it, right? Turning on the citizens like this, going, you know what? This is ridiculous. I'm not taking these orders. Nah, you won't see that because they're all Masons. And that's a fact. I mean, I have videos on that showing you, all the police officers' logos with the Masonic logo and emblem in it. So this is what's happening in America. We have restaurants reopening where you literally have a piece of plastic between you and your date. We have them, using UV lights and stuff like you're in a tanning booth in the restaurant, or black lights. I mean, creepy and disgusting. And people walking around in tubes on the boardwalk, and who knows what other ridiculous stuff's going to come out of Memorial Day weekend. But there's going to be plenty, and they're going to go, oh, well, we saw in this state that people weren't social distancing, so now we're going to take their privileges to go to the beach away. And we let our government do this to us. Pretty embarrassing. Blame it on the fluoride. You want to blame it on the chemtrails and say that people are just weak? You want to blame it on the TV propaganda? I mean, there's really no backbone left in this country if we're going to allow them to keep doing this stuff. They're making us look like buffoons. Buffoons. And you don't think that they're up at the Rothschild mansion cracking up that people were doing this? You don't think one of them, a Rockefeller called the Rothschild, and was like, you got to see this. They're walking around wearing tubes, like those donut tubes you wear in the ocean and the pool. They're wearing them on the boardwalk, the social distance. Wow, they're really dumber than we thought. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what this world's turned into. The dumbest of the dumb. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you, and God help us all.